if people don't like what you're doing, then fine. Just look. If I don't get reelected on my next endeavor, fine. If I don't get elected, I win. I get to go back to being retired.
Sonny Borrelli actually told Steve Bannon that he was going to attend a meeting on Saturday where he was going to be talking about the hand counts.
And we're going to see what's going on over the weekend. I'm having a PC meeting in my district on Saturday. And with our county GOP, and then we're going to see from there what goes on in next week. Stand by. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Sonny Borrelli was notified days before he did this interview with Steve Bannon that the meeting that was going to be held on December the 2nd, 2023, was going to be about the removal of our vice chair, Ashley Gerich.
We're still looking for sign. When I wake up, oh, I can't help but to wonder, is this even real?
So I really don't know why he's lying, but I recall a rant that he went on accusing another politician of lying, when in fact Sonny Borrelli just lied to Steve Bannon.
You know what? And here's the thing, Ed. If these ignorant, cocksucking idiots want to vote for that fucking phony lying piece of shit.
And you're right. I agree. Why should anybody have any confidence in some of these people? Because there's a lot of feckless cowards out there.
Sonny Borrelli is also a feckless coward because while at the meeting on December 2nd, 2023, this person never stood up for anything, because he does not stand for anything except for silencing American citizens and aligning himself with the MCRCC chairwoman, Jeannie Kench.
But I tell you, the rest of the counties, they're all waiting for this to happen so they can also do the same thing if they need to, because bad behavior should always have consequences.
Who took 3 people to court to silence their voices because she does not believe in the First Amendment. As a matter of fact, I believe Pete Santilli called Sonny Borrelli out for his refusal to protect the First Amendment.
If I were a communist and I were wanting to steamroll Arizona, I'd be applauding having somebody like Sonny Borrelli out there running freaking herd. Worthless, weak. This is the same guy that called me up when I said I wanted to have First Amendment protected protest out in front of the state legislatures. You know what he told me? Oh, you got to back off. You're going to screw things up, Santilli.
What Sonny Borrelli did when he spoke to Steve Bannon was called lying, because that's what politicians do. They lie.
And we're going to see what's going on over the weekend. I'm having a PC meeting in my district on Saturday, and with our county GOP, and then we're going to see from there what goes on in next week. Stand by. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
And you're right. I agree. Why should anybody have any confidence in some of these people? Because there's a lot of feckless cowards out there.
So Sonny Borrelli actually invited Steve Bannon to find out what happened after the meeting. What this person did was he actually told Steve Bannon that the meeting was going to be about his agenda, which is the hand count agenda. Sonny Borrelli was actually notified prior to the meeting that the meeting was going to specifically be about removing an executive committee member.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And while Ashley Gerich was completely harassed and removed from her position on December the 2nd, 2023, Sonny Borrelli was in attendance at that meeting. However, he stayed silent, never stood up, never spoke out against what was going on in that meeting. So,
And I asked Sonny Borrelli if he would submit voluntarily to an audit of all of his assets, and guess what he said? No. Sonny Borrelli.
I'd like to know where the money is in case we need it. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You actually don't know the names, but I know the money's there.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
I don't have that kind of money.
And I asked Sonny Borrelli if he would submit voluntarily to an audit of all of his assets, and guess what he said? No.
That's between the attorneys and him, so.
So you don't know?
I can't disclose that.
You can't disclose it or you don't know?
Stand by, stand by, stand by.
So you don't know?
I can't disclose that.
For full transparency.
So you don't know?
I can't disclose that.
For full transparency.
Yeah.
He's telling me I was going to screw up his legal strategy. What is his legal strategy?
I don't know if he had one.
It's between the attorney and the donors.
Nothing.
have one?
That's what it is. His legal strategy is to basically send out Wendy Rogers style freaking emails asking for donations for the next election, and we're going to do things, and we're going to save our country, and we're going to. These are a bunch of freaking roughshod communist enablers.
You're right, but I tell you, the rest of the counties, they're all waiting for this to happen so they can also do the same thing if they need to, because bad behavior should always have consequences.
They speak Republican. They dress up like Republicans. They fundraise like Republicans. It's a lot of money and losing, by the way, when they're back on their heels and they don't have enough votes in the legislature. That's how that works. And then their do-nothingness is exactly what the communists need in order to effect a coup d'etat out of Arizona.
Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, there was a meeting held in Lake Havasu where our vice chairwoman, Ashley Gerich, was removed.
Sonny Borrelli, no shit, Sherlock, right? You have to send a letter to remind everybody to protect our national security.
For the first time in at least 25 years, and possibly longer, the Mojave County Republican Central Committee voted to remove a member of its executive board on Saturday. Ashley Gerich of Bullhead City was removed from her seat as first vice chairman on December 2nd.
And now he's piece of crapping it once again by putting out a letter. Let me tell our listening audience how much of a piece of crap he is. Sonny Borrelli, I confronted him. And I asked him, don't you think there's a problem with Ben Toma and his family running Runbeck down the street? Let me tell you, I'm going to just use an example. Let's say we have a perfect election with paper ballots, right? And you have 100 people go cast their vote. They present their ID, they're legal, they sign off on it, it's on a paper ballot, right? Then both the Democrats and Republicans, they count those ballots, right? And they seal up those 100 ballots and they put them in a box, right? Say, here it is, 100 votes, paper ballots, no machines, there you go. Sheriff escorts it down to the safe storage area. And you have a perfect election with paper ballots, right? And then you call down to, if you don't fix the voter rolls, right? All the MAGA voters that go cast their ballot, you got 100 votes for President Trump. And Runbeck says, okay, how many ballots have we got that were perfectly submitted on paper ballots and secured and hand counted and all that? Oh, you had 100? Okay, here's 120 for Joe Biden. They print up fake ballots down at Runbeck. They use fake people on the voter rolls, dead people, non-eligible voters, and Runbeck, the family members of the Speaker of the House, the Republican Speaker of the House, has his brothers down at Runbeck. This is how they overthrew the Kerry Lake election. They knew how many same-day voters were on the run technologically. I won't spin off on a tangent. And they were shutting down precincts, right, to slow down the number of votes.
The toxic environment coming from District 2 headquarters forced me to temporarily close the office. A half a minute, please, sir.
And they were calling down to Runbeck saying, we need 274,000 freaking ballots, right? 274,000 ballots, fake ones, that were shuttled through the system.
Not only was it voted in favor by the MCRCC Executive Committee to censor the PCs in question, but the Executive Committee also agreed to file a workplace injunction so that said PCs were banned from the headquarters in Bullhead City.
if you're worried about getting reelected, do the right thing.
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look. Oh.
They should be standing shoulder to shoulder and linking arms to stand up against us.
He lied to Steve Bannon about attending a meeting for the purpose of speaking about hand counts.
But look, you take the job seriously, but not yourself seriously, because at the end of the day, we're transient authorities. But if you're not going to stand up and fight, you know what? Then go home. Freaking go home. Go home. There's too much blood and treasure that's been spent and spilled for this country, for people to roll over like a bunch of feckless cowards.
Sonny Borrelli thinks you're a...
These ignorant cocksucking idiots want to vote for that fucking phony lying piece of shit. They can get what they deserve.
You know, let me tell you something. They're voting for Gould now. I mean, they're
you know what? And here's the thing, Ed. If these ignorant cocksucking idiots want to vote for that fucking phony lying piece of shit, they can get what they deserve.
But what
Another fucking senator, a senator that did absolutely nothing for this district